Hello friends, today we will discuss a very special kind of summer plant, and that is Adenium or Desert Rose. This plant is basically belongs to warmer and hot locations like deserts like Middle East, Gulf countries and Africa. This is native to those places. But nowadays this is so much famous plant in case of interior decoration, and if it is summers, this is the best plant for blooming. This is my plant. You can see so much small pot, but this plant is having lots of blooms, lots of buds in waiting to bloom. How beautiful this is. This plant comes in so many colors and so many shapes. This is a succulent plant. Succulent plant are the plants which requires lesser water, cause these plants already having water in their cortex or in their structure, so they are less water seeking plant. Or you can say, as this plant belongs to hot desert location, so such plants survives in less water conditions. This is a kind of hardy plant, so require less maintenance. This plant is kind of plant which survive so many years in your garden. These plants you can put in very small space, like if you are living in apartments and you are having very less space in balconies, but you want some plants which blooms and looks beautiful, and you are having lesser in space, then this is the best plant you can put in your balcony. And the best part is they are having so many colors, so many colors. Like this one is in pink color, but there are so many grafted varieties which provides multiple colors, like rose. There are many rose, like in one plant you can get multiple blooms. Similarly, this plant is having so many hybrid varieties and so many colors. And the beauty of this plant is sometimes you find lesser leaves and blooms are more than leaves. Now, moving to our further discussion, how to care this plant. As I told earlier, this is a very hardy plant. This requires less maintenance. Sometimes if you forget to water it, this plant don't kill easily. What you need to make sure that is you don't overwater this. Yes, you heard it right. Overwatering can kill this. This is a succulent plant, so if you're overwatering this, root rot may occur and this plant can be killed. But if you are watering in a particular time duration, like in case this is summer, you're watering in 5 to 6 days after checking its soil, and in case of winter even 15 days you're watering it, it's okay with this plant. This plant is give bloom during summer season, and so many flowers comes up. So during this season you have to feed this plant with fertilizer on time to time, like 2 times in a month with a gap of 15 days. Or in winter this plant gets in dormant period, so lesser fertilizer requirement. Means if you are giving nil fertilizer or giving fertilizer in more than 1 month, that's okay with this plant. Now, what fertilizer do we use for this plant? This plant requires NPK, nitrogen phosphorus potassium 20-20-20 ratio. You can feed this plant with NPK 20-20-20 within 15 days of duration during its best blooming time, from spring till starting of winter. If you don't find NPK 20-20-20, sometime you are having any compost and organic fertilizer, you can feed this plant with that fertilizer too, like vermicompost or some fertilizer, organic fertilizer prepared from plant leaves. That's okay with that. But make sure you don't use any unknown inorganic fertilizer for adenium. This plant can be killed if you are doing some kind of experiment this plant. So you have to make sure you feed this plant either with organic fertilizer or with NPK 20-20-20. Now, how to propagate this plant? This plant is very easy to propagate with cuttings. Yes, in starting of spring, if you are doing pruning for this plant thrives for pruning. Means if you are pruning this would give so many branches, so many more branches and so many more blooms. So after pruning, whatever cuttings you are getting, you can grow lots of adenium from cuttings. This is easily grown from cuttings. This also can be grown with seeds, but the difference between both methods are from cuttings it takes lesser time to propagate, while from seeds it might take lots of time and lots of effort. So both options you can choose. If you want to propagate it in lesser time, go for cuttings, else go for seeds. Now, pesticides. This plant is not so much as sensitive as like rose. This is desert rose, but this is not as sensitive like rose. So, simple organic pesticide like neem oil, you can use this. Any organic pesticide can be as effective for this plant. You need to make sure, like during blooming periods, like in summer, in 15 days or 20 days, you can use pesticide, organic pesticide generally don't harm plants. And if you are having any pets or kids at your place, such pesticides don't even harm kids and pets too. So this point we can saving two efforts like kids and pets as well as plant too. So we encourage organic pesticides and organic fertilizers used for the plants. Now I have covered watering, I have covered fertilizers, I have covered propagation. Now come to the point, that is soil. What kind of soil this plant thrive for? This plant, as I told earlier, is a plant which belongs to desert and hot location. So you can this mud should be 100% water drained. Means any kind of water sustainability property in mud could kill this plant. So 100% sand you can use for this plant, and this would give best result in sand. If you are using coco peat, that would also give sufficient good result for this plant. So coco peat and sand are the best soil medium for this plant. This plant is so beautiful for small locations like offices or some people living in apartments having lesser space. This plant can be grown in pots as well as can be grown in ground. But as I said earlier, this belongs to desert location. So during rainy season, you have to protect this plant from rain, because excessive water may kill this plant. So during rainy season, if your plant is in ground, just make sure you do repotting this plant and make sure to shift during rain this plant. These all points I have covered so far are sufficient for caring of this plant. This adenium can be your companion for long time. So many years this alive plant can be at your home and very less maintenance. If you are a frequent traveler and you forgot watering, so this is the plant for you. go for this. What we are encouraging to plant and grow more plants and trees at our premises to support nature and to minimize global warming. What small effort we can do is counting. So let's make our earth green and let's go for this. If we are having lesser space, this isn't any problem if we choose wisely our plant as according to our location. Thank you so much. If you like my video, please like, subscribe and share for more such videos. Thank you so much.